How's everybody's week going? Who has a good win for the week that they want to share with us so far? Who's got something good to share? What good has happened in your business this week or what's coming next week?
I guess I can share. This is my first week in business, and hey, um, I have sold 38 packs of skinny drops.
Wow.
Like, they just keep coming in. I don't even understand anymore. So we'll have to
Awesome.
get caught up.
Awesome. I love it. So are you feeling good about knowing what to text them after your boxes and then what to text them after they get the drops for the drop?
No, she hasn't even gotten onboarded yet. That's what we're doing together this weekend. I mean, she's just joined Saturday and she's blown through 38 boxes already without even having any official training.
So we're good. I said, congratulations to you, girlfriend. And the next step for you is just every week, all week long, we have these calls called opportunity Zooms. So if you've already got that much credibility with people and a following, if you just want to funnel them in, Barb can explain all that to you about how to invite and how to get people there and start adding to your business. So I love that. So if you guys want to in the chat, go in the chat and put what was your win for this week and what do you want this week coming up? Whether it's financial, whether it's, whatever it is, I want to just share kind of, and if you want to add anything about how long you've been in the business or anything like that, and we'll just read them off. Are there anything specific that you guys really want covered? Like normally what we do is a lot of times we do like emotional healing, we do training and things like that for a certain amount of time. And then we move over to like energy type work, like emotional blocks and things like that. So Leanne wants to sell boxes, add a brand partner and convert customers. Laura enrolled my friend from high school and my people who bought boxes are seeing amazing results. And I love that. And are all of you guys picking a day of the week to follow up with customers? Can you give a thumbs up or a yes? Is everybody, fortune's in the follow-up. If you sell people drops and then you don't talk to them for 3 weeks, like your business is not going to boom. Fortune is in the follow-up because a lot of people, the drops are magical in so many ways, but people have old programming, to kind of take care of around food. Enroll. Okay. Millicent win and promoted 2 times. Good job, girl. Biggest commission check so far. Person under me hit ultimate, been in the industry for 19 years. Very excited about this platform. Good job, girl. Way to go. And Steph, we are expanding our reach by beginning recordings, trainings around TikTok coming soon to a theater near you. I love that. And I was working with a girl, you guys, who's done multiple TikTok stations. So, hey, Michelle, and her whole thing, hey, girl, she's always working out. She's always coming from the gym. She's our most energetic brand partner for sure. Good job. But, I'm sorry, I got distracted with that. Oh, Steph, this is probably the mistake that I made. So I started doing, you need to do 1 to 3 TikToks a day. And
Okay.
at least one of them needs to be your talking head. So you need to actually be talking. People do screenshots. That 1 to 3 every single day for 30 days or for however long that it takes you to actually build that to 1,000 subscribers.
So we talked about today, it's very important before you start that journey, you get a calendar out and make it your content calendar. And you write down every single day before you start what the content is going to be of that day so that you can honor that commitment of at least one a day. But you're saying 3, right? For 30 days. So that's a commitment.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Give me,
What I learned this morning.
Steph, can you read the chat? Because I had an issue with the Zoom, so a few
Susan,
people. Yeah.
what if you're not on TikTok yet? Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm in that little bit older. I'm old. I might not look old, but I'm like almost 56. So I'm like, I don't really do TikTok, but I mean, I could. How important do we think TikTok is to add to Facebook and Instagram?
You know what I think about TikTok is that you literally, it's global, number one. And number two, it's kind of where I can go. And I don't know why. The fact that it's global, I should be more scared. But it's literally the one place that I don't really care. Like I can post and I can do whatever my personality wants to do on TikTok and not worry about it quite as much. I don't know why. I have no idea why it
That's
feels
cool.
that way to me. Maybe because like my friends and family are all definitely aligned with my Facebook and my Instagram. Like they just know I'm there. But I don't know why. I feel like I could be goofy. I feel like I could do anything kind of that I want to on my TikTok and find my niche there. And obviously this is what we want to promote with it. But within my stories and stuff like that, and just that it's global, I don't know why. I don't know why. It's so weird that I feel that way about that one. Because Susan and I were just talking about visibility yesterday and how that is not, I don't know. I have a scare. I don't know why I'm scared on some other platforms just to come out and be visible, but I want to be live on TikTok so bad. And it's so weird that I want to be live on there, but I want to be able to get to 1,000 so that I can go live because there's people that are, and Diane is our TikTok queen here. She's on our team. That girl has some followers right there. She can go live when she wants to already. But I feel like just being able to talk to random people, because you get to do interviews with whomever, like it's just crazy. It's just a whole different world.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. It sounds like something that would be up my alley anyway. So maybe I need to do it, and maybe I can get tutorial from my 18-year-old son.
There you
Oh,
go.
they're the perfect ones.
He can help you
Yeah.
out. That would be a little bonding experience.
Utilize those young ones. Stephanie's got a son who's incredible at these kind of things. She's like, yeah, I'll get Chase to help me. I'm like, Chase is awesome. So yeah, any of you guys that have younger kids, nieces and nephews, anybody in this realm, it's definitely where it needs to go, for sure. We don't want to get people distracted. Give me 1 second.
Millicent, I'm 58, so if I can start to learn some of this stuff too, I put a guide post in. Amber and I were on a recording earlier, so it's going to be available for everybody, but this is the current, and it's a work in progress because she was editing, Victoria Abshner was editing as she was recording, but if everybody goes to the chat right now, here's just her visuals of what she does right now to have a guide post. Okay. So a jumping off point could be that. And certainly if if your business is a little stale, you would be more open to then expanding your reach with TikTok, but definitely start with Facebook and blow that up as much as you can.
Yeah, I have another hot
Jet
tip too.
said that hers has been active since 2020 and it's been a wild ride. Awesome. So Jet, maybe you should do some training for us sometime on this.
I think Diane has a little tip too.
Yeah. Yeah, well, first of all, when I started TikTok, like I just started because what you got to do on TikTok, it's a completely different platform. I can't explain it, but basically what you do is like you take somebody else's reel and you copy the sound and make it your own, create it to be your own, but just on the different sound and, have fun with it and just play along with what they do because that's how they rock on TikTok. Next thing is when you're making TikTok videos, just do like, you could just throw in a shirt and then just change your shirt, like do one shirt, with a couple TikToks, and then change your shirt with that same time on a couple other TikToks, so that you're not wasting time. You could do 6 or 7 clips in, I'd say, 20 minutes. And then, you could just like save them all on your, on your device and post them every time you're ready, every couple days, versus having to, take time out of your day and do it, because you want to look good on TikTok. So when you do your makeup, your hair, do the videos when you're dressed up, because not a lot of us always dress up 24/7. I know I don't. So, and then just take advantage of creating them when, like, 6 or 7 at a time. And then you've got them on your saved reels, and then you just post them every, a couple times a day.
That's great. That's great for sure. Changing that way, we're already in that mode. We've
Mhm.
already taken that time and said, okay, this is what we're doing right now. And then I've thought about that even for some of my other things. And what Victoria was talking about was that if you start on TikTok, you can actually save those videos and then use them on
Yeah.
your other platforms easier than you can on any of the other platforms. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
And a great app to use
Yeah.
is have you guys heard, do you use that app, Diane and Steph, called CapCut,
All the time.
CUT? So if you guys will upload it in, I'm gonna put it right here in CapCut.
Yeah, it's super
That,
easy to use. I recommend that. Super easy to use.
yes, I agree with that. Yeah, Diane, you want to put your TikTok in the chat? And
Well, you know
Jen,
what? I just basically I haven't done a lot on the drops because I just started with the drops, but basically I just did fun stuff to get the following. So now I'm going to start working the drops because I have that following. So yeah, I will.
Okay, let me pull something up here real quick. If you
So
want to keep,
You mentioned the fortunes in the follow-up, so I don't know if anybody had the opportunity. Brenda Carlton and I cannot remember Ellie Bishop did a training, and it was in the same time as our team training, but Brenda comes from a background and had a following and is going like gangbusters down in Colorado Springs. She is old school original gangster. She pulled out a notebook, and which I love, and the folder and the 3-ring binder, but she shared some documents in which initially you're building your connection and you're learning and you're investigating about this person. So I loaded in what she uses to actually prompt questions. She called it coaching questions, because she wants to learn about the person and find out what their goals on. Otherwise, she's going to be one and done selling the drops. They're going to fall off the radar, and it's going to be a ridiculous lost opportunity. So I just loaded in, and we can take the document, Susan, later and put it in our boards, but loaded in maybe some initial questions. And intuitively, you ladies, and if any gentlemen are on here, probably already doing this anyway, having worked with people for years, but I think it's a good guidepost, and you can personalize it and make it yours. But Brenda was willing to share her document that she prompts and she filled out and she puts in her binder and all this other stuff. And then I'll share her other basic follow-up sheet. I'm sure everybody's got their own, but just in case you don't, then you can just tweak it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I'm going to get that second sheet. Okay, so that's it.
okay, so I also have this that I was looking at, you guys, that I could share with everybody. Let me see this. This is how to use, okay. This is, this is talking about the hashtags that we can use, hashtag research. This was also talking about, remember, Steph, when you and I talked about pillars, right? So if you're in your 40s, I would suggest you go through the whole you're going to really try to cater towards perimenopausal women. If you're in your 50s, 60s, and 70s, you're going to cater to your menopausal women. So your contents would be like, what are the 3 ways that you know your cortisol is high? What are the 5 ways you can help lower your cortisol? You know, it would be like the hormones. Then there would be a section for content around maybe exercise. And then there could be content around foods. Steph, has anybody that you guys have looked or Amber watched, has anybody given you guys content pillars to do, like strategies? Okay, this is a month of content. This is what you could do, or have you guys started formulating your own?
I got a 7-day off of the Instagram training that I did with Lindsay, but it was really just the verbiage to add to the posts and stuff, but it was Instagram, it wasn't TikTok. So now I'm just kind of coming up with my own stuff. And then I just got some good tips from her when we were just on that training too, on the other products too, just on TikTok though, not on Facebook. She's sticking to the drops with Facebook. Instagram, I still am sticking to the drops right now with Instagram. And then TikTok is I'm trying to just convert like the messages I get on my TikTok for the products. I'm like, okay, come follow me on Facebook, because I don't even know how to navigate the communication there. It's different. You can't give all the info there. So
What I would
Okay.
recommend is either go to ChatGPT or go to Perplexity. I've started playing around Perplexity. My husband says that's just more refined and better. It doesn't really matter. Go to AI. Make sure you have some thoughts about your prompt, though, what you want to focus on. So content for TikTok involving perimenopausal, menopausal, whatever, use as many words as you can for content for TikTok and see what it generates, because we don't have time to reinvent the wheel here, ladies. We don't have the spiritual, emotional, brain power, energy, and there's no reason to. And then you can start to refine it, because you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is really vibing with me, or it's not. And then you have the follow-up questions too to further drill down and refine. So that involves, though, you taking a risk and playing with it if you're not familiar with it, but it yields such beautiful information, and it inspires you and motivates you and gets you going, would be my suggestion.
CapCut even has AI in it. Like when
Great.
you like edit your videos and you do text, you start typing something and it'll AI it. So
oh
there's a
wow,
little section in there. Just take a peek in there, you'll find it.
great
Love it.
info.
Thank you.
Free information, free AI in CapCut. So why not?
And Steph, is there any way that you can move some of this? Just say, like, we could just title it for Team Unstoppable Facebook recap from training meeting this morning. Because you're putting some really great stuff in this chat. So if people don't grab it from here.
Yes, I will start taking some notes right now. Got it. Okay.
And do you know how hard it is when you're in Italy not to eat the cheese and the fresh cheese here? It's like, and the pasta. Oh my God. But I'm doing it. I'm sticking to my goals.
Go girl, stick to those goals. I love
You're
it.
doing amazing. Your pictures have been awesome. I can't even. I was bragging on you to someone else who had surgery and couldn't do any kind of exercise. I'm like, look at my girl right here. Look at her. Look at her picture. That is a month.
Yeah.
So Amber and Steph, you guys are both awesome leaders. What are you noticing that there comes Susan Frank. I gotta tell y'all a funny story. Hold on. What are some of the things that you're noticing that your team is really needing, or like questions that you keep answering over and over? Hey, Susan, how are you?
It's honestly just confusion on how to grow. They're on like the back office and how to it's just a lot all at once, because we're going so fast and we're learning so much. Most of us have have other jobs. This is something we're doing, as a side hustle. So on our spare time in our crazy lives, because I tend to attract people who are very busy. This is what I feel and what I see in my team, is that they're just trying to catch up with, as well as me, getting used to and catch up with how all the steps are, making sure we know where the back off. And I think it's repetition. And I think that you've heard us asking for it, and you guys are definitely trying to give it. So that's just kind of what we're still trying to grasp, because it's crazy to get your check and be like, where did this money come from? This is crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. It just comes.
And have you guys found when you go into the back office, it's under My Money and there's a report there that says commission summary. And if you click on commission summary, it literally tells you every dollar you made for every single person. So when I get mine, any of you guys that got paid over $250, I can see your income that week because I know that I make 15% of that matching check, which is just one of the parts of the pay plan. And I agree with you, Amber. It does. It's kind of like whenever they first need to place somebody on the tree. Like, why am I placing them here? How am I placing them here? It's going to tie back 100 times over. My Money and volume. Imprint that into your palm. My Money volume is where you're going to go for everything. That's how
I
you're
definitely learned that on this last training that we did. I definitely learned that because
Okay.
you would have thought that you'd want to pump up like, oh, look, my number 2 needs more volume because whatever. No, you're going to go over to your other one because you want to optimize. So like there was definitely some nuggets that we're taking out for sure in that training that we just had recently. So I think it is just growth, and as far as being a leader, needing to make sure that we try to tap into anything that we can. I mean, you know, that's why I hopped in and jumped in on Stephanie's Zoom this morning because I'm like, oh shoot, I'm awake. I'm gonna go tap in on this little TikTok info if I can. So yeah, I just think it's tapping into as much knowledge as we can, really. I also believe that we all learn a little differently. We all learn things differently. And so we've got to try to like, repetition is a thing, definitely for me. But sometimes someone will say something just the right way. And I'm like, oh, okay, now I get it. Like, that's just how it goes for me. So I'm just trying to tap in. And it's good because then I get to see all your guys' faces and, you know.
She's back in, Susan, if we want to get her going on the actual training.
Perfect. That will work. Susan, are you here?
I'm here.
So guys, I'm just going to say this over and over and over and over again, which I don't know if I've said it. So I am going to start saying it over and over again.
Making sure you got your seatbelt on because there's a cop behind us.
All right, buckle up. Make sure you got your seatbelts on, guys. But that's what Susan Frank always says. Buckle up. Get ready to make some money. So Susan and I just got on the call with this lady that just messaged me randomly. I thought randomly. I was like, hey, I want to talk to you about the business. I want to know everything about partner.co. I've been talking to other teams. I want to know why your team would be the best. Well, luckily, I was smart enough to have Susan Frank. Hey, girl, can you get on this call with me? And this lady just comes right out of the gate, you guys, and was like, I want to make 30 grand a month. Like, that's what I want to make. How can you guys help me make that kind of money? And so, Susan, I mean, you can share whatever you want to, Susan, about that call, but it just goes to show like being number one, being responsive. This lady was blown away that she had reached out to Dr. Crystal. Nothing. She'd reached out to all these people, you guys, and nobody had even got back to her. While you people in the health world, we noticed that we had exchanged messages 5 years ago, and Steph, her kid had really bad pandas where they thought they were going to have to hospitalize the child. You guys have psychiatric inflammation, and that's something that Steph and a lot of my friends and family have struggled with. And anyway, she had totally healed him through homeopathy. So what a beautiful thing, right? Homeopathy, and it leads into that. Did you want to share anything about that call, Susan? But the biggest thing is get these people on a phone call, you guys. People want to connect. And of course she was saying, do you do automation? Do you do this? Do you do that? And I thought Susan did it beautifully in terms of how she shared what it is that we really do. Do you want to share anything from that call with them, Susan, that's valuable? I don't even know how it ended. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I think the valuable thing is responding back to people. Make sure that you're not just putting the information out there, but that you are responding back. And that's what really impressed her. And even though Susan's made a ton of money, she still said, hey, jump on this with me. So use us, like we want to help you. And how it ended is she was like, I love systems. I love y'all systems. She loved that we have boards. So I think sometimes people are looking for more, but just keeping it totally simple where people can see, oh yeah, I can do that, because anybody can schedule posts twice a day and then use our text scripts. So use the text scripts in order. That's a key thing. And don't edit it, because the minute you edit it, you don't have a duplicatable system.
So everybody, everybody that's getting new, that's getting started with their boxes, we see that all the time, don't we, Susan? They're like, just change this and this. And we're like, no, you don't need to change anything. And they're like, well, it seems real like cryptic, that I'm only saying this. And I'm like, literally, as Letty always coaches me, they want to know two things. How much does it cost and will it work for me? They don't need your whole health backstory. They don't need your PhD. They don't care. So that's, something to just kind of keep it simple. And Susan thought it would be a good idea this morning to train us on this 6-figure system of growth that Brett Palmer and all these guys have kind of laid out for us, so that you guys can understand, how do you get your savings bonus unlocked? Why are you putting people here? How does this really work? How am I going to grow my business and things like that? Are you guys good to train on that this morning?
Yes, please. Thank you.
Perfect. Hey, Audrey. All right,
Already
girl,
love
I gave you co-host rights. You should be good.
Perfect. Will you watch people jumping in? I'm gonna text this out because not everybody is familiar. Make sure you teach your people on the Telegram, so we just need to put meetings in one place. Okay, let me see here. Share my screen.
Can somebody put the link to the Telegram group in the chat?
Do you have that, Susan, or I can get off screen share and do it?
Yeah, let me grab it.
Susan, send her the one that you sent me, because the other one was giving me problems.
Okay, and the text. Okay, let me grab that one, Audrey.
And I try to sell everyone just while can y'all see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So the text scripts, I try to sell every box of drops off the top 2. What are the drops? And then when they ask me the price, what are the price? So I don't send them a ton of information. I just send them what are the drops when they ask me the price. So I try to sell them off those top 2 unless they ask me for something else. And then make sure once they purchase the drops that you go on the right side 2 down after purchase instructions. And that helps them to get on track and links them to our community of support. So, and I would love to have you guys active in there. If we all unite, like that can be absolutely incredible. So make sure you once your drop people, I had somebody that didn't realize that. So I just wanted to put that out there. So new rep training with the star. And I'm going to go over how to optimize, because I feel like people are, if you're close to money, I don't want anybody missing money. So this right here, I know we did a training on this already. I'm going to start on this page. But if you go to your back office, the partner.co site, and you log in, and it has a drop down on the left-hand side. And that's your dashboard, your subscription manager, your striking distance, all that. The subscription manager, your subscription needs to be 100 PV, so you get paid. So make sure your new people understand they need a subscription of 100 PV, and it needs to be on their color week. If you have a question about that, we can do a train on that. But you're going to go down to my money and volume. This is the most important thing. If you click my money volume, That's gonna let you know. The pink line is your power line. So that's your biggest line. You always gonna place your people on the smaller number lines because that's gonna push out pay. My goal for you is for you to get paid. Whatever you do from Saturday to Friday, our weeks, that's how our weeks run, Saturday to Friday. You're paid the next week on that Friday, and you need to make sure that your direct deposit is set up. If it's not, you click right below volume partner.copay and you can set up direct deposit 100%, save it, and make sure your social security number's in there. That's so they can send you a 1099. Is there any questions on that? Okay, perfect. Is there any questions in the chat?
I have a quick question.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand they have to have 100 PV to be qualified to get the paycheck, but when somebody first starts, they have to have 200 PV to start making money. Is that correct? And then they don't start the pay plan or a part of the company until they get that 200 PV, and that's when the color starts, correct?
Okay, so 200 PV qualifies the business, which is a 4-pack of drops. And the person has 4 Fridays from the day they start to get to ultimate status, which will double their pay. They're double their volume bonus and also
Okay.
plug them into matching bonus. So you want to make sure your people will have 1,500 PV in their first 4 Fridays, because otherwise when they sign up a ultimate, which is somebody that gets started with 30 boxes, you make $225 if you're not
No, that's
ultimate.
cool. That's totally
if
cool.
you're-
I understand that. But
Okay,
when they
if-
start the business, it's 200 PV. That's the start line, right? When they hit that
That's
200
the
PV.
minimum. That's the minimum. If you can get people to start with 1,500 PV, they're at top pay day 1 and they can go ahead and start building. Once if they have 1,500 PV and they get somebody started, they make 450. Same
She's
work,
asking
nothing
about
changes.
activation for her color. She's asking about the activation for her color week. So if they sign up at a $29.95 on one day, but they didn't place an order, when does their active date begin with the 200? It needs to be a $200 PV order, but when does that
Yeah.
active date begin?
When they order the 200 PV. The
Okay.
4 weeks starts the day the $29.95 pays.
Okay, but then their active week, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so the 4 weeks starts at $29.95.
Mhm.
They don't pick their subscription week until they activate, correct?
Mhm.
So they don't have to make the 1,500 PV until their business activates at 200 PV.
No.
So as soon as the
No.
minimum
No,
their
no,
PV
no,
starts.
no.
No?
Hold on.
Okay.
The day you pay $29.95, if that's on a Friday, that's your first Friday. The day the $29.95 is paid is when your 4 weeks starts ticking.
Okay, it's just subscription being set up is on the activating week when they place that activating order.
Yeah.
Or other, that
They have
activating
until
color
their
order.
4th Friday to do that, but we don't encourage that. Don't
No,
they?
No, right, I'm just
absolutely.
They
saying,
also don't get paid until that they're like 200 PV, correct? So that their actually paycheck starts after the 200 PV. Plus
No,
to
the
keep the
pay,
paydays running, you have to have 100 PV subscription on auto pay, correct?
the day the paychecks start is 4 Friday days or once you hit your ultimate status, because all volume sold is going to get you trying to get you to the higher pay for life. And we can do a training on that if we need to, where I can get you some visuals.
What's the difference between 100 PV and the 200 activation?
The 100 PV is subscription a month. That keeps paychecks going out. When you start the business, people need at least 200 PV to count as a business. Their goal is to get to 1,500 PV in their
Okay,
first
so
4
if
Fridays.
if they
That's
don't have the
two
200 PV
totally different
activation,
things.
okay. Because I was just saying, if they don't have the 200 PV activation, then they're not doing it as a business anyways, so.
I have a quick question. Is there any changing your subscription week, or is that just never, you can never do that?
If you change your subscription week, then that's gonna mess your pay up and you're gonna lose all the volume underneath you and all the trip points that you've earned. You can call the company and if you need it because you have a payday or something, and they might work with you, but you gotta make sure. I've never had anybody change it because it's gonna mess up your pay.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
So here is your goal. Once you hit ultimate in your first 4 Fridays, which is 1,500 PV, it's 30 boxes. And if you're running the marketing campaign, that can definitely help you with retail money. Your goal, once you start building, is 1,700 PV on 2 lines, minimum. If you hit this, which is basically a ultimate and a 4-pack, that would get you there on each line. You can have 4 10-packs, however you want to flip it, 1,700 PV on 2 lines. And this is PV on your whole team. So anybody that's underneath you, that counts. You make $250 in base commission. That plugs you into the savings bonus, which is another 15% of your base commission put in a savings tank. Your savings tank will build to $10,000 and then you'll get the savings bonus money. But how you plug into this savings money is 1,700 PV on 2 lines. So if you're close, if you're at 1,650, it would be, you'll make money off getting 50 more PV for that week. The weeks run Saturday to Friday. Is everybody with me on this? Because this is a big deal. I want y'all tapping into all the money that's available. And if you're building, this is a big step right here. Is there, who else is, Susan, are you, can you see the chat?
Here, yeah.
This is
Is
my,
everybody good?
this is
I have a
Millicent.
question too,
Oh,
when
go
you
ahead.
guys have a minute. This is Isabel, but I have a question too, when you guys have a minute, because I just made Ultimate, but I just want to know, do I have time now to, I don't have any brand partners yet.
Yeah.
I made the Ultimate on my,
Congratulations!
thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, so I want to know, do I have time now to bring in brand partners, or am I still on a time limit for that too? Like, can I just bring them in? 'Cause I got people trying boxes, but they want to try the product first and say, let me see my first month, and then I might want to join you. So everybody's kind of thinking about it already, but I just want to make sure that I don't have a timeline to get these 4 people or whatever that is.
You do not have a timeline. You don't, like, your goal is to get 4 people, but once you hit ultimate, you're automatically gold. So you now have double volume bonus for life, and your matching bonus, let's scroll down here because it is on here. Because you hit gold, you're matching, because you hit ultimate, you're gold. So you now get matching pay of 15% of your team's base commission on the first level. So anybody you personally help, whoever they help start a business, every Friday when they're paid base commission, you make 10%. Whoever they help, you make 5%. You're locked into that for life because you hit ultimate. Somebody that doesn't hit ultimate, you're not paid this matching bonus on the first 3 levels.
Okay, I see. That makes sense.
You have unlimited time to get brand partners. There's the only ticking time that we have is get to ultimate in first 4 Fridays, and people have their subscription of 100 PV.
Yeah, I have that set up as well. Because I fell in love with a lot of the products. I've been watching every video, and now I want the Pure Nourish and all that stuff. So I'm like, well, I have to have a subscription anyway, so I might as well set it up and change it every month and get all the products.
Yes, that is perfect. And exactly what you're doing is what you want to do, because if you become a product of the product, and we have so many, it's great. I rotate mine around too. But then you can figure out what you're in love with and what works for best for you and what you have going on with your body.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Okay. So, is there anything else?
Somebody else said, is there a time frame when you need to get up to the $250 to unlock your savings bonus?
It doesn't, no. Your weeks
It's
from
every week.
Saturday to Friday. So if you hit 250 in that week in base commission, which is 1,700 on 2 lines, then that plugs you into that extra pay for that week. So this runs weekly from Saturday to Friday. You don't have a certain time frame to hit it, but it's definitely something to shoot for as you're building a business, because that's going to add you into an extra pay.
And the simple
You
math
said
on that, you got
1750.
1,700.
1700. So that's our first goal before we start optimizing it. That's
Yeah, this is your bare minimum goal. Yes,
That's your bare minimum. So basically it's an ultimate and a 10-pack. It's basically an ultimate and a 4-pack, an ultimate and a 4-pack, or 3 10-packs and a 4-pack, 3 10-packs and a 4-pack going through your lines from Saturday to Friday, Diane. That'll give you the 250 and unlock that each week, where they match it and put another 15% of your overall commission. So if you make $1,000 that week in commission, they give you $150.
okay, but my question is, we have to have 2 pay lines. So you have your power line, and then the 2 pay lines have
One
to be
pay
at
line.
the 1,700, correct?
Yes. Just like you see here, you're in the green, and then you need 1,700 on one line. Line 1, 1,700 on line 2, 3, 4, how many ever lines you have. It just has
One's
to
your
be
power
on
line,
2 lines.
one's your pay line.
So you have to have 2 pay lines then,
One
No,
pay
on
line,
making
one power line.
$1,700 each.
no, one's your power line, one's your pay line.
And you have to have 1,700 on both of those.
On your
It's
power
not-
line and your pay line.
And
Okay, gotcha.
it's not dollars, it's volume. Everything's based on volume. And
Okay.
how you look at your volume is you go in your back office under My Money, the drop down and volume, and it'll show you what your lines have. So this is, I flipped right off that training. Let me go back to it. But that is the biggest thing you want to teach your team, is how to look My Money and volume in their back office. Right here. My Money volume.
Does anybody
Hey,
that
Susan.
has two lines going, does anybody want to give Susan the login and password if she wants to show you a tree? What were you going to say, Steph? Was that you?
It was me. It was Millie. Hey, this is awesome, because this is just exactly what I need, because I like to know how to get there, so that I can go there. This training is in that boards, right? Because I love these documents. They're very helpful. Yes. One quick question. The 17 that we're talking about, the 1,700, I get that that's points. Okay. This is weekly, correct? We need 1,700 weekly on both sides. So you're not going to have an exact 1,700, because one leg's going to be bigger, right? I mean,
right. This is just bare minimum what you need. So let's say you have 5,000 on one, 1,700 on the other. It's going to put savings bonus 1,700, and the difference less is going to roll over to the next week. So we get carryover volume. You don't lose it.
And basically the amount to click the savings bonus is calculated on that pay leg. I thought it was the pay leg that you had to be like over 2,000 in that pay leg, but you're saying you have to have 1700.
1700. Yep.
Okay. 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 I think I get it. I'm getting there. So I also noticed, because I promoted to senior manager and I don't even understand the titles, but I noticed that it's added a second thing, like certain amount of volume, to get to director.
Yep.
And that needs to be done in 1 week, and that has to be on the pay leg, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting it. I'm getting
Yay,
it.
look at you. Look at you. Congratulations.
I'm
on
slowly
your
getting it.
promotion.
Okay, can you explain the carryover volume? I know Molly put in here too, but I have the same question. Our carryover volume, where does that lie? Like, where does it carry over from?
Okay, it carries over from the line. So let's just say this is your business and you had 1700 and 1700. It's going to subtract the 1700 from the other line. Well, these are both equal, which it probably isn't going to happen that way. But then you'll start Saturday with 0 and 0, and your subscriptions will all start kicking in. So any subscriptions, all subscriptions on your team process on Saturday. So all those will help add to your volume as your team's building. But let's say your line 1 was 2,000 and your line 2 was 1,700. Is everybody with me?
Mm-hmm.
So you would start Saturday morning with 300 carryover on your line 1, because it's going to subtract the 1,700 from the 2,000.
Okay, so even if I had 15,000 on my power leg and 1,700 on the other one, it would subtract the 1,700 and carry over the rest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So what,
So
you got a
that's nice, because
200
it helps
fresh
keep your
start and then
power
we-
line optimized.
Yep, exactly.
Give that example again, Susan, because I was under the impression it carries over after the volumes optimized. You're basically saying it's the subtraction of the power and the pay for that week. And then, so if it's 1,000, one leg's 1,000 and one leg's 500. Say this again.
If one leg's 1,000, I wish I could draw. But
Can
if
you do
one,
whiteboard?
girl, me and technology,
Can we
me
do
see if-
whiteboard?
let me go get a piece of paper.
Hey, Susan, do you want me to
Yeah.
text one of y'all my login? Because I have 2 legs going. One blew up and optimized yesterday, and the other one
Yeah.
has nothing going on. So it's a really good example for carryover.
That would be incredible. And that sounds
Okay.
like Jennifer, is it?
Hey, girl.
It is. It is. Hey,
Okay,
I'm going to
perfect.
text it to you, Susan Frank. Give me just a
Okay,
second to find it.
perfect.
And while
Okay.
she's finding it, everybody give Susan Frank the biggest hand in the world. She just moved up to number 2 in the country, and
Yay.
we just passed Todd Rowland.
Yeah, girl, you passed him up.
Isn't
I
that
mean,
good?
yeah,
Wow.
it
That's
is.
awesome.
That's
Congratulations.
Sorry, this
Hey.
might be a secret. This might be a secret. Keep it as a
Congratulations.
secret until they announce it.
It's
not a secret
anymore.
Okay,
Not-
this is
need a
not being recorded.
Isn't
Hey,
incredible?
so don't y'all give me a hand. Everybody give themselves a hand, because teamwork builds a dream work. So
Y'all
now
done
y'all can
so
say y'all
good.
are number 2.
Yay.
Y'all are number 2 in the world. Okay, so here
Awesome.
you can do this even if you're not technologically fancy. So while I'm getting that password, let me see if I can turn around my camera.
And you know what? While we're waiting, I'll tell another announcement for someone on this group that had something special happen yesterday.
Tell
My girl
us.
Shelly, her family, her son has their daughter is adopted now. He has adopted. They've been working for 3 years on this, and
That's so
they
good.
finally got it in. And so Ellie is now in the home with them and part of their family for real.
Thank you,
Nice.
Amber.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Crazy
Man,
whirlwind, but we finally have her for
maybe
permanent.
That's all. Maybe you should walk me through the adoption process. I got the whole pleading and begging. I need a sibling. I need a sibling. Can't y'all adopt somebody to play with
Well,
me?
the adoption process would be probably easier on your side, but we had it from the bad side because mama fell off and
It's so hard sometimes.
didn't make it. So, and my son is not the biological father, but he's been her father since she was 3 months old. So it was even a bigger battle because then you have to declare everything and go through all the red tape and the bumps and bruises, but she's happy and it was certified yesterday in court. So
congratulations. My
Thanks.
husband's youngest brother, you guys, they went through the court system
she's
for
got
18
paper.
years, was never adopted. 18 years of fights
Wow.
trying to keep him out of a home where he was sexually abused.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
hard.
happy for you guys.
Thank you.
That's
And thank you,
awesome.
Amber.
Okay, so let me put my paper under the. Hey, can y'all see that?
No, can
Yep.
you share? Can y'all see her?
Yeah. It's good.
Okay, perfect. So here's you. If you have 1,000 on one line, and that's PV running through that line of 1.1, and then you have 500 in the other. This is what Susan asked. So this runs
Carryover.
Saturday through Friday. So you're going to get paid on the 500 because that's your smaller number line, right? So that's the 500 you're going to get paid. I think my camera's dirty. Hold on. Okay, that might be clear. So then this 500 is going to go over here and it's going to subtract from the 1,000. So then you're going to start Saturday with 500 PV on your line 1.1 and 0 on your line 1.2 because it's paying you on this. So it's paying you on this. You're going to subtract over here and then you'll have 500 PV on your line 1. Is everybody good with that?
Is it a set 500 each week? I saw a video and they said 1,000 each week.
So it doesn't matter. She just used that as an example. So what you really want is 1,700, so you can get savings money.
But how much
So
do they subtract each week, Susan, from us?
it depends on what is in your pay line. If you had
Give us another example right below it, Susan. 2 other numbers.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
with the
Susan, I
1,700.
texted you my login, so you should have it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show that. I want to make sure people have this visual. You think that would be easier to show them?
Yeah,
It
show
might be.
visual of the 1,700, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Okay, I'm going to show this one more example. So if you have 1,500 in line 1 and 1,000 in line 2, you're going to get paid off your smaller number line. So which one's that?
1,000.
Yay. So you're going to get paid off this. So you're paid. This is going to subtract from this. So it's going to take away the 1,000 in your pay line and you'll have 500. That's funny. It still worked out to 500. 500 left in this line. If you would have had 1,200.
And that's your power line.
Do what? Tell me that again.
That's your power line you're talking about?
Exactly.
That's your power line you're talking about?
So this one's the power line. I'm going to give you one more example.
It can only be the power line if it's the biggest. If it's 100 and 200, the 200 your power line. If it's 15,000 and 10,000, the 15,000 your power line.
And your lines can change. They're not forever. So I'm going to look at Jennifer. Thank you for sharing your password. You click the 3 lines and you go down to My Money to Volume. So the pink line, when you go here, that's your power line. So see how her line 1.2 is the power?
Right.
So she started today with 13,334 on her power line. This is her pay line.
Susan,
I'm-
explain to them what the negative means, please.
The negative means somebody returned something, so she's gonna need to build that negative up. So week 31. So you can go right here to period and look at the previous week. So last week, line 2 was her power line. Her commission right here, that's her base commission, which is 15% of the smaller volume line. Well, she had new volume bonus. So you always have to hit the plus sign over to the right, and her new volume bonus was 624. So she got paid on 624 PV. It'll subtract from 13,334, and she rolled over. Hold on, let me do this real quick. 624. So she rolled over 12,710 in carryover, but she must have had some subscriptions pop. So she was still at 13,334 for this week.
Okay, so the number that is subtracted from your power leg is the new volume bonus. That's the number you're subtracting?
No.
No.
The number you subtract is from, so let's just look at hers. So her new
Oh, it's the
volume
amount you got
bonus-
on your second leg. Okay, I got you. Never mind.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Is there
Got it.
everybody? Oh, you go, girl. Once it clicks, it's like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Susan, could you
So-
explain to them why there is a power line versus a pay line? Because the power line can feel like a tease because you're not getting paid on it. So you can explain from a company standpoint why we must have the power line and then the pay line.
Okay, well, if they paid out on all your lines, then the company would never make money. A company that makes no money is not staying in business too long.
Right.
And also, let's see here. The reason is that's what makes the comp plan work, but you are paid on the power line if it's matching bonus, which is another way we get paid. So somebody could put one person in and they go make, as long as they're ultimate, if they went and made $1 million, then you would make that year 150,000 in matching, even if you just have one person in. So you can make matching, but the reason you have a power line is because that's what makes the comp plan work.
That's what makes the wheels on the bus go round and round.
That's right, and we want the wheels moving. We want the company making money.
Right.
We want us making money. So I'm going to go back one more week for her. So Jennifer's obvious power line is still 1.2, but it was at 9,714. Line 1.1 is her pay line, where you can see it's new volume bonus, 916, plus, this is what I was trying to look for. So she had some customer volume too. So see at the bottom, you always look at total volume for title advancement and global profit share. It's 976. It's going to add everything together for you. So she had a customer that got 60 PV.
Okay.
So it's going to throw your customers on a pay line. So it threw it over to 1.5, it looks like.
So we could look at this, you guys. Her next rank advancement is senior VP, right? And so if we look at her volume for this week, Susan, we could see, let me just look to make sure in the rank advancement sheet. I think it's 5,000, isn't it, Jennifer, on your lines?
Yeah, I need 5,000 in each.
Okay, so you guys can look at her week this week starting out. Somebody returned something, so she's negative. So she needs to build that one up to, yeah, she needs to build.
So you don't even have to do the math on this. You can go to striking distance if you want to know your next promotion. It is the third one down. And she can click the plus. If you're on the cell phone, if you're on the computer, it shows everything, but it'll say estimated pay line volume needed for next title. And that's how you know how much volume you and your team need. So she'd need 5,000 and she's at negative 416. So that's why it's 5,416 just in one line, because she already has her other line going. It's already optimized. So you see where it says estimated pay line volume right here?
Yep.
So that tells what, and she can look for her whole team, what they need. Just hit the plus and it'll tell them. And that'll get her to senior vice president. Is everybody good on that?
Yep.
Girl, you need what? 3 ultimates and 2 10-packs. You'll be there.
And if she can get some of her team running ranks like that, that
That's
really
right.
helps too. Like look and see what I don't want to click on these because I don't have permission to. Jennifer just gave me permission, but you can click on theirs and see what they need, because if you get them popping ranks, then that gets them paychecks, and that is always what you want, is your people getting paid.
I have a quick question, Susan.
Okay.
Let's say like when I've only been doing this for like 6 weeks or maybe 7, but and it works very differently from previous platforms I've been with, but I'm getting it and I'm loving it. And I had signed up a person like the day after I signed up, right? And she's not at Ultimate yet. Okay. And it's already been past her 4 weeks. I mean, I realize I don't make as much on that person, you know, if I put an order under her, but does it?
Don't do it. Don't do it. Anybody, don't do it. Any orders you have over your subscription, put it under your personally sponsored $29.95.
Wait, what?
I don't understand that. Personally sponsored $29.95. What do you mean?
Okay, so hang on, let me flip my camera around. Okay, so this is a very important thing right here. Any volume you put in over your subscription, you put it under a personal sponsor person that's paid $29.95. If you have a kid, if you have somebody, a customer, that you feel like could be good at the business, hey, I can help you out. I'm placing a bulk order, pay $29.95. I can help you out. So you want a personal sponsor $29.95 to put your bulk orders under. Because per 10-pack, you're going to get paid 30%. Don't give people a promotion. It doesn't make them work. People just sit back and wait on you to give them something else.
But you want to do that in the first 4 weeks, right?
Yes, the first 4 weeks, put all your bulk orders underneath the new person until they hit Ultimate 1500 PV. Once they hit Ultimate, put your bulk orders under somebody else.
Got it. Okay. But don't put them if they've fallen short and it's after the 4 weeks. Just let them get there on their own. And
yes, that's on them.
Okay, got it. That was
They're not intending to do the business probably anyways, so.
Or they're not willing to work hard enough for it.
Yeah. And that's what I've learned is some people I've been over backwards for, and they just sit there waiting on me to work their business again. And that's not fair. So I've taught them how to be lazy. So I'll teach you what I've learned through my experience. I've done things wrong, and I'll tell you, hey, that didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Susan, there is a question in the chat about what is the conversion from the PV to dollars? I don't think we have a clean conversion, do we?
There's not a clean conversion, and the reason we have PV is because we're international. We're in 62 other countries. So PV makes the comp plan work. So anything, I'll share screen here.
Our pricing sheet does have the PV listed next to it though.
And also if you go to shop in the upper right hand corner, it shows the PV. Y'all see that in each box? So it shows the PV of each products.
Right. Yep.
And some people, this is like a common asked question. If you're searching for something, let me just say if we're searching for drops. So you see the magnifying glass at the top beside partner.co?
Yep.
That's the search that works. So always search by that magnifying glass at the top.
Now, are the drops in different countries? I noticed they're saying night and day. What about in Italy? They say night and day. Are they the same quality of the drops that we have?
They're the same quality, but they are not homeopathic. So they have a little bit different ingredients, but their effectiveness is the same. And Europe's killing it right now, like on the day and night. And I just feel like somebody might need to hear this. If you don't want cellulite, or you have skin that's kind of wrinkledy or dimpling, Banali is your best friend. It's the top selling product in China and some of the other countries, but it's in a little purple bottle.
Can I
And
say
Diane's
something
in
about
Italy
Banali,
right now.
Susan, can I share about Banali real quick?
Oh, yes. I would love for you to share about Banali.
Yay. So I have been on this long time journey. My heaviest was 278 pounds. I'm Audrey, and I have been on a skin battle. And in addition to that, I'm an electrologist, so I do permanent hair removal. So I'm actually recommending Banali to anybody who's having any kind of skin treatments to enhance that. So especially Amber. So if you have friends that are working in the spa industry, they're doing anything around skin tightening, any kind of like treatment, even estheticians, this is gold, gold, gold. When I tell you I had a cataphoresis, I had a radio frequency treatment on my upper thighs the other day, and I'm definitely a product of the product. I take the superfoods, the MOA, the drops. I take our product line. We'll get into that another time. But I think the Banali has literally gotten rid of the gobbler that I had in my neck. And I had one treatment and saw results with smoothing cellulite the other day. And I've never seen that before. So the next thing I'm going to try is the Beauty Boost powder with a pubescent teenager, because I heard that clears everything right up. So if you've got people dealing with acne, even they're not doing shakes or whatever, they can just take this. But yeah, so the Banali was gold, and now as I continue to do more of these treatments, I'm just going to up that a little bit more. And it's interesting because there's a couple packs, you guys, with look around for sometimes you can get things like that for free. Because I always look at it like how much, if it comes with a box of drops, I'm definitely going to make the retail on that box of drops. So I wind up getting the product that might be helpful in general. So there is definitely savings when you start to look at purchasing. Like if you do a bulk order under somebody else or a brand new $29.95, do it that way. I also wanted to say too, like, this is really beneficial for us to learn this. I'm so grateful for you guys to take the time, but this is like in addition to a whole nother way that we get paid every day, all the time. And that is one of the largest return on investment retail benefits in the whole world, you guys. I have really, 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 really been benefiting from even just in addition to retail that comes with this. I've done so many different other product lines, especially in my industry, and I'm making more money on retail with Partner Co. Funderized program that is changing everybody's lives day by day than I ever have. And I don't think there's another product out there that gives you that ability to make that kind of money 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sorry, thanks for taking my time.
No, we got the magic. We got the thing that everyone wants.
It's so incredible. So thank you, Audrey. That was amazing. And I'm gonna turn it back to Susan, and next time we'll get into a higher pay plan.
Sounds good.
You know what? We have one more question for you. We have a question about someone who has one line, doesn't have two lines set up yet. It says that her total volume was 1860, and then it says it's a pink line though. And then it says base commissional volume. What will she get paid on?
She only has one line.
Yeah, so far it's just one.
So you need to personally sponsor somebody and put them in your other line. So that will
Okay.
be your pay line.
And so
Okay.
how do we do that, guys? We look at the meetings and we say, when's the opportunity Zoom? Or when can we get Susan Frank or Susan Cameron or Amber or Stephanie or Audrey or so many of you do presentations. Get them on a presentation and convert. The worst you're going to have is a drop customer. The best you're going to get is an ultimate right out of the gate. So yeah, and that's awesome. You've already got that other line building. So you've already got that power leg volume. So now we just need to help you create volume on that other one.
Okay, cool. Now she knows.
Perfect. All right, guys. Happy Saturday. Let us know if you need anything. Thanks for showing up for yourself and for this team, and we appreciate y'all's time. Susan, thanks so much for doing this.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Thank you. Happy Saturday.
A lot of good information.
Great. See, Eileen, you're back on Facebook.
Hey, Susan, can you give me a call, please?
Hey, Letty, I sure can. Bye, girl. See ya. Bye.